On behalf of your host, Steve D, this is Bruce Buffer saying thank you for tuning in to Xtreme Lyfe. And now, this is the moment Xtreme Lyfe fans around the world have been waiting for. It's time!
Welcome to the Xtreme Lyfe weigh-in. I am here with my man, my brother from another mother, Ray Flores from PBC Boxing and ESPN Chicago. How are things in Chicago, Ray, man?
Oh, you know what? I haven't been in Chicago since I can't even remember the last time I went. Went from San Antonio Halloween week, and I've been here in Los Angeles the past several weeks, and I'll be here until next Sunday because we have PBC NFS1 this Saturday, November 14th, and then PBC NFS1 next Saturday, November 21st from Staples Center here in Los Angeles. So I won't be back in Chicago until right before Thanksgiving, but, thankful to be able to work and bring these fights to the fans all over.
Yeah. So you just moved back to Chicago and you're back in LA already.
I'm back in LA. Crazy times.
Dude, it's crazy. That's crazy. So, we have some things coming up over the next week or two. We got, of course, we're going to talk about the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. matchup. You got some stuff coming up in PBC, which is phenomenal. We got UFC 255 coming up, a great card there. So there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about, man. So I guess let's just jump right into it. I'm going to try something really cool here. I just figured this out, and let's see if it works. I don't know if it will, so all right, there we go. So now we got the card up here. This is all, it's great to actually have it up. I've been trying to figure this out for a little while now, and I think I got it set up with my stream deck here. Let's check this out, man. We got, some really great fights coming up. Let's look at the main card. We got Mike Perry versus Tim Means. This is going to be a great fight. This is probably, I like this fight for, call me crazy, but I just like it. You got both of these guys have been around a while. Tim Means obviously has been around a ton. He's got a lot of fights under his belt, a lot of wins. Both of these guys are scrappers. Both of them can come in and really go at it. So what do you think about this fight? Do you think we're going to see a stand-up, knockdown, takedown, drop out, whatever? What are we going to see?
I think we get a stand-up battle. I mean, Mike Perry likes to keep the fight standing. He makes no bones about it. I mean, He's getting better on the ground, but he has pretty much exclaimed, look, this is a fight. I want to stand and bang. That's what I'm going to do. I think it all depends on what type of approach Mike Perry brings into the octagon. Where is his head at? Is he focused? Is he not focused? I know he's had some legal issues over the past several months, but the fact that he's able to get in the octagon, put that behind him, but where is his head at is the question. You know that Tim Means is the consummate professional, and he's going to come in shape. He's going to come in probably more than likely make the weight at no problem and be ready to fight. So I think it all falls on what kind of Mike Perry are we going to get. Sometimes we get a Mike Perry that's a world beater. Sometimes we get a Mike Perry that you're like, how is this guy even considered a top 15 fighter in the world? Yeah. So it's either one or two things with Mike Perry. And when it comes to Means that he is going to be consistent, right? So
always
to me, I mean, like you know what you're going to get out of Tim Means. I mean, this guy is, and I mentioned it before, he's a pro's pro. For Mike Perry, it just all depends on what we get out of him. And that I don't know, to be honest with you, Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, where is his head at? Is he going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Tim Means and be able to, because, as you said, you brought it up so eloquently and said it right. Tim Means comes in. He always comes in the same. He's not, he's pretty much going to come in. His head's going to be in the game. He's going to be, ready to pound away. And, can Mike Perry, or is he gonna have his head there to be able to handle that and be able to take the fight where he wants it to go?
That's the question. So, I mean, that's what I think is the $15 million question heading into that fight.
Well, it's $15 million. I hope I got it right.
Yeah, right.
So coming up that card, though, we got Caitlin Chikogan and Cynthia Calvillo. Another good fight here. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Well, I think for Caitlin is the key word is consistency. And I know that this seems to be a theme, but can she put it together and get a run going over the course of her UFC career? We see her win one or two, and then she drops one. She wins one or two, then she drops one. What is she going to be able to do? Can she get a winning streak together? Can she put everything and really start to get momentum and build it towards a title shot? Cynthia Calvillo is extremely talented. She is, she's coming to fight. She's extremely dedicated. I believe she trains at Team Alpha Male, which is a tremendous gym. She only has one loss on her record. And I think she's going to push the pace compared to Chikogan. And I think that Calvillo, if she comes in with no issues making weight, I think she's going to pull out the victory.
Yeah, and you may be right on that one. I mean, she's definitely one of those fighters that you just don't know where, it's another one. I think if her head's in the game, I think she's going to come in and she's going to do very well. Caitlin with a 14-0 or 14-4 record, and Cynthia with a 9-1. Both great fighters, both capable, very capable fighters. I'm kind of, wondering where this fight's going to go too, because it's really, really kind of up in the air for me. I mean, if we look at Caitlin, her last fight was a loss to Jessica Andrade. Yeah. So, I mean, you can get in there. She did get a win over Antonina Shevchenko, and she's kind of back and forth. If you look through her record, the last few years has been kind of up and down for her. Momentum sometimes is 9/10 of the law. You got to get that momentum going. If you're on that momentum, you can ride that, so absolutely. I think that's right on the money as well.
We got Shogun on the card, man. I mean, look at that. I mean, Mauricio Shogun, talk about one of the original gangsters of mixed martial arts, man. Shogun has been, that battle with Dan Henderson, his matchups against Rampage Jackson. What he did in Pride, what he did in the UFC. He is just, he is one of those all-time legends that I think we need to be able to truly give our respect to, no matter what happens against his fight against Paul Craig. Mauricio Shogun, who is one of those guys, he made Vale Tudo and Muay Thai something special back in the day. What was the team with Vanderlei Silva? What do they call themselves, Steve? If you
oh God, I don't recollect. That's that. You know what? It's right on the tip of my tongue. But
it's crazy because it's so old school MMA.
Yeah.
The shoebox team. That's what it was.
That's it. Yep.
With him and Vanderlei and I believe the Nogueira brothers were in that mix too. Talk about savages when it comes to Mauricio Shogun, who I'll be honest with you, I don't really know much about Paul Craig, but listen,
he's been kind of guy that's been in kind of the shadows a little bit, but he's definitely been there. And you're right. Mauricio Shogun has definitely, he's been around a long time. He's got a ton of fights, got a great record. 27 victories, is definitely capable of the ground and pound. He's definitely capable of the choke and getting people out and submitting people. He's capable of a lot of different technical, styles of fighting and does a great job. So, I would give this one to Shogun, but
I hope Shogun maybe gets one or two more and then calls it. I can't believe, as I look at his age, he's going to be 39, but he's only 39.
Yeah.
I thought he was 43, 44. I've been watching him forever.
Well, he started very young. He came in at a very young age, I believe. But
Babalu, Sobral, Quinn Rampage Jackson. Man, these are some names.
Yep. So he did fight Rampage. Yep.
They fought Nogueira. He fought Overeem, Mark Coleman. By the way, Steve, speaking of Mark Coleman, I don't know if you know this, but Mark Coleman actually sustained a heart attack a few days ago. And
oh my God,
he's in the hospital, and it seems like he's going to be doing okay, hopefully. But, I think you and I send our well wishes to Mark Coleman.
Absolutely.
On better and stuff.
And his family. Yeah, absolutely. Because, there's a lot of, that's a terrible thing to have to go through, at any time of your life, having a medical issue like that. I mean, hopefully it's going to be okay. We got Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. This is going to be a great fight. As well. I mean, Shevchenko has just been an amazing force in the UFC. She's cleared out that flyweight division, pretty much. I don't know what's next for her after this fight, to be honest with you. I mean, there is some talk about her going against Amanda Nunes again, maybe at bantamweight for a third time, which I think would be incredible. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what this fight brings because, Jennifer Maia is no slouch either. So she's capable of coming in there. I mean, she's got an 18-6 record. She's 32 years old. She's a black belt in Muay Thai and in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So she holds 2 belts. This fight, if it goes to the ground, who knows where this could go. I mean, I have seen Valentina get better at her ground game, though, over the years as well. But she likes to stay standing up. She don't like to go to the ground. She don't want to play there. She don't want to play there.
No, I think Shevchenko, though, is on a different level. I think her athleticism, I think her scrambles, I think her Muay Thai, she keeps her distance, she pops her jab, good leg kicks. I think she's the complete package. And I would be very hard pressed to see if Jennifer Maia can defeat her. I just think this is, Shevchenko's in the prime of her career. Yeah. And this is not Amanda Nunes. So anybody that's not named Amanda Nunes, I think is going to have a hard time against Valentina Shevchenko.
You get into this and I mean, I've been surprised, and I would go with you. I agree with you. I think Shevchenko is far more in her prime, far more ready to get in there. Her athleticism is definitely amazing. But like I said, if it goes to the ground, I don't know. We'll see. I think, you could get to the ground and it could be a whole different game. But Shevchenko she's really good at avoiding the takedown. She's really good at just nailing you with those kicks, keeping you at bay, and making you and punishing you when you come in. You come in for those takedowns and she'll drill that leg. And she's really good at punishing you for that. So, that's kind of where I'm at. I think Valentina takes this as well, but like I said, I wouldn't put it past Jennifer Maia if she gets to the ground to be able to pull something off, which is one of the amazing things about fight. That's what we love about it, right? If we could pick everybody who won all the time, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, exactly. But, I think it's like, can she get Shevchenko? Can Maia get Shevchenko to the ground? Can and will are two totally different things.
Yeah.
But Maia has the ability to do so.
Yeah. And like I said, I've seen amazing strides. Valentina Shevchenko is not the Valentina Shevchenko we saw in the first Amanda Nunes fight with her. She's not the same Valentina Shevchenko that we saw in the second fight. She's grown tremendously, but so is Amanda Nunes, right? So as you can tell, that's a fight I'd be really excited to see where we were at now that both of these fighters have grown significantly in their careers, and we know Amanda Nunes has cleared out both the bantamweight and the featherweight divisions, for the most part. And I would love to see a rematch there. But this is one of those things where she's got to get past Jennifer Maia first, and there is talk about it. But I don't know if it's just rumblings or what. But I would love to see some years later them come back together and fight again.
No doubt about it. I'm excited.
All right. So now we have Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. Another amazing. I think this is going to be this is going to be a phenomenal fight. This deservedly is the main event of the evening. Yeah, as Bruce Buffer would say, this is the main event of the evening. But Davison Figueiredo, 19-1 record against Alex Perez, 24-5 record. Both of these guys have been around the block. Both of them are on a winning streak. I think Figueiredo has won four of his four last fights, and Alex Perez has won his last 3 fights. One of these guys is going home with the end to that streak at this matchup. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think?
Well, listen, I think that Figueiredo has been pretty much groomed to be a top guy at 125. And finally, he's put it together. You know, we mentioned during the start of the show, can you get momentum and have prolonged momentum, prolonged win streaks, and start to hit your stride? With Figueiredo, I think we are seeing that. Against Alex Perez, Perez is extremely talented. I mean, look, the guy's been in some wars, but I think he's fighting a buzzsaw in Figueiredo, who I think is just more vicious. I think he has more of a variety of strikes. I think that in the clinch, Figueiredo is better than Alex Perez. Alex Perez is a very good fighter, but Deiveson Figueiredo is a vicious fighter. And that, to me, is going to be the difference in this fight. I see a late second-round stoppage for the Brazilian.
And I think you're right. I think overall, Figueiredo is a much more aggressive fighter. He comes in to do battle. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He just comes in, he's ready to go, and he wants to do battle. But Alex Perez could surprise you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, I think it's a very good fight, but I just think, to me, this is going to be the coronation for Figueiredo to finally get that and have that momentous occasion. Let's
talk about Mike Tyson. Right?
Yeah.
So Tyson Roy Jones Jr. coming up, which I think is you know, you and I have talked about this before, actually, about Tyson coming back, you know, and it's interesting. We've seen him hit the pads. We've seen him do all that stuff. What do we think here? I mean, is this going to be I mean, I know there's some strange, I think they're only doing 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, 2-minute rounds. I think 8 rounds or so, something like that. Yeah. I'm just curious, where is it going to be? I mean, you know, is it going to be in Florida? Is it going to be in California? I still don't know where it's going to be. Do you know?
I don't know yet. I heard that it might be in Vegas, but
yeah, I mean, who knows?
I don't know. It's definitely going to be, you know, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I mean, it is an exhibition fight, but, you know, also, you know, I mean, you look at Tyson, and I've watched multiple interviews with him recently, you know, going back to probably about 6-8 months ago. And 6-8 months ago, he was one kind of a really mellow guy. Now he's in attack mode. He just seems like he's kind of like you woke up the animal.
I mean, look, once a fighter, always a fighter. And this is an opportunity for him to get that rush again, to get that feeling again, to relive those glory days that made him who he was. But it is not the same. I think we are all curious. I think there is excitement for this, deservedly so. 2 legends. I like that it's going to be under safe conditions, and I'm glad that they're getting the juices flowing, but it's not going to be what they were in the past. But that's okay, because that's not what they're selling us on. They are saying, watch 2 legends compete against each other. That right there has me bought in already.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be checking it out because there's no, you know, I mean, you know, it's definitely, I mean, Roy Jones Jr., I mean, and I don't want to just talk about Tyson either. Roy Jones Jr. is an amazing fighter. He's got, you know, look at this, 75 fights. 75
Crazy,
fights
man.
in the ring, 66 wins, 47 knockouts. Of course, he's got 9 losses. I mean, he's fought a lot, right? If you look at this, his last fight was in 2018. Tyson's last fight was in 2005.
Against Kevin Bright. It was a rough one. But you know what? Hey, the fact that Tyson's back, he looks in great shape. He looks in a great place mentally. I just want people to temper their expectations. Is this going to be the Mike Tyson who is knocking out Michael Spinks? No. And this is a 50-something-year-old Mike Tyson who's still got fast muscle twitches, who's still explosive and powerful, but he's not the guy who was the youngest heavyweight champion in history. So let's temper our expectations. You know, it would be like me watching Michael Jordan jump on the court and expecting Michael Jordan to do what he did in 1996 when he led the Bulls on that 72-10 run. So it's like, you know, let's enjoy it, but let's understand that this is nostalgia. This is a trip down memory lane. This is not them at the apex of their careers.
Well, that's where I'm kind of at with it, you know, because I remember watching Tyson when I was, you know, young, and he would come out and his fights, you know, we ordered it on pay-per-view in my house, you know, because pay-per-view just kind of started around that time period. and we'd order the fight, and it'd be over in like 91 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like he would
You're
come
thinking
out.
of the fight against him and Peter McNeely back when he came back after getting out of jail and having that performance.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, it was insane. It was insane that, this guy came, we would just come up, and I think at one point he was 30-0.
Yeah.
At one point. And he was also, you're right. I mean, you brought up, he was the youngest heavyweight to ever hold the title. I think he might've been, he actually had the WBC, WBA and IBF titles all at the same time as well, and unified the titles. When you go back to,
he was undisputed. Yep.
Yeah, he was undisputed. And I mentioned 91 seconds. That was Michael Spinks. I mean, Michael Spinks is no slouch, man.
No.
he was a badass in his own right. And I actually have a glove signed by him in the background here. But
Man.
I got to actually have a glove with him and his brother, Leon Spinks.
Wow, crazy.
Signed. So yeah, no, it's definitely a cool piece. It's one of my favorite pieces that I have in here. But it's definitely, like I said, he's definitely one of those guys that you look back and you say, wow, what a career. But he was never quite the same after all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
After he went to jail, he came back. I mean, just something happened to him. I don't know. I think, all that stuff affects people. And then Roy Jones Jr., I think he's just one of those guys. He's always fought kind of like that. I think the heaviest he went was light heavyweight.
No, he fought in heavyweight. He became heavyweight champion of the world. He defeated John Ruiz at Madison Square Garden, I believe, in 2003.
Okay.
So he did have, he was, I think, the lightest guy to ever go up and capture the heavyweight championship of the world. And he beat, John Ruiz. And impressed. I mean, what a remarkable performance. But yeah, Roy Jones been in there against the likes of Antonio Tarver, fought Felix Trinidad. I mean, he was when he was in his prime, Roy Jones was the best pound for pound fighter and just dominated, his weight class. And I mean, holding a win over Bernard Hopkins, I think speaks volumes and what he was able to do. And Roy was the kind of guy that, I don't know if you remember this, but he played basketball during the day.
Yes,
and then
played a full game
HBO.
of basketball.
Yeah, he played a full game of basketball before his fight. And then hours later, went to the arena, I think in Jacksonville, and fought on HBO. So, I mean, just goes to show you the kind of athlete that Roy Jones Jr. is.
Oh, yeah. No, amazing athlete. I mean, to play a full basketball game and go and still, go out there and win a fight. I mean, that's just, I mean, how do you even do that? I can't even comprehend that. How do you get there? But so what's going on in the world of PBC, man? Talk about it.
Well, we got coming up on Saturday night, Steve. I'm very excited. Staples Center in Los Angeles. No fans in attendance, so that stinks. But at the same time, we got a very good unbeaten middleweight matchup between the Uruguayan Amilcar Vidal against Edward Ortiz. I think this is going to be a heck of a matchup. It's your consummate puncher against boxer matchup. Ortiz is undefeated from San Antonio, Texas. Very good pure boxer, taking on the hard hitter from Uruguay in Amilcar Vidal, who is promoted by Samson Lukowicz, who incidentally found Manny Pacquiao and Sergio Martinez, just to name a few. There are hopes that Vidal can become the first world champion from Uruguay in boxing. So there's a lot of expectations on his shoulders. The co-main event will be a cruiserweight matchup. Efe Apochi, who's 33 years of age, who has a 100% knockout percentage, takes on Joe Jones, who's a veteran. And then open up the card, we got two young, hungry prospects that are looking to make a definitive statement, as you have a very tough Henry Arredondo from San Antonio matching up against San Jose's own Eros Correa. They actually sparred a year ago in Las Vegas. That fight is on Fight Hub. If you get an opportunity, they sparred a year ago in Las Vegas. About 10 minutes of that sparring session is up. And both men are looking to prove that they certainly are significantly better than the others. So the winner of this certainly puts themselves in line to sort of graduating to being a fringe contender. So I'm excited about that. December 5th, PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. I hosted the virtual press conference on Tuesday. Both men are focused. Both men are determined. Both men, if they could fight on Saturday, they probably would. They have both great trainers. Danny trained by his father, Angel Garcia, who is certainly a personality and never shy to give his opinion. His Errol Spence's trainer, Derek James, who's the trainer of Jermell Charlo, who I think if Errol wins this fight will be the trainer of the year. I can't wait for that fight, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. I will be doing the hosting the press conference on that Thursday before the fight, and we'll be down there. Limited fans in attendance, which shows sort of distancing and wearing masks. So thankfully, fans will be able to come into Jerry World at AT&T Stadium, and we're very excited, Steve. This is it's a fun time. It's a time that we are bringing entertainment to the fans. But I think I've told you, and I've mentioned this quite a bit. The fights are not the same without the fans. I wish every fight had fans in attendance, because without fans, this sport and combat sports does not exist. So thank you to the fans for watching, for supporting, for your passion. And it's only a matter of time. I'm hoping, I'm knocking on wood, that they all come back and we can get people back in the arena. Yeah, right. Let's do it, because we need the fans back in the arenas sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree. And there are some places getting pretty creative. I know the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, which I'm trying to get out to this Wednesday and Thursday for CFFC, Cage Fury 88 and 89. I have some friends fighting there. Actually, I just interviewed Nassim Sadikov the other day, and he's fighting this week. So I'm trying to get out to that fight, because and what they're doing is to get creative. Is they've started they kind of took the chairs out of the arena and put tables in, and
nice.
You could buy a table for $300. It seats 4 people, and you have to order dinner. So they found a loophole, man. So it's all good stuff. Yeah. So it might be an idea, for now at least, to get people in there. And I was talking to Nassim about that, and he's like, I didn't get a chance to really fight during the pandemic when there's no crowd, but a lot of my teammates have, and it's a little strange, but he's just happy that he's going to at least have some people there, watching the fight. Cause I think, for a fighter, man, it's gotta be hard when you're not getting that roar of the crowd. Cause I've seen fights turn around just based on that crowd response.
Yeah. Big time.
People get that energy from the crowd, and all of a sudden they turn that whole fight around. So, it's definitely cool to see that people are starting to get a little creative, and I'm hoping we come out of all this craziness soon. Just like you, man, I think we need to get this solved and get on with our lives and get moved on. Cause I think, it's affecting a lot of things, at this
significantly. I mean, mental health. I mean, come on. I mean, I know I'm all about safety and making sure people maintain social distancing and, wearing your mask and stuff. But man, it's like, we need fans in the arenas. We need the electricity. We need that energy. I felt a little bit in San Antonio on Halloween night with Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. But you know what? It's just, I want it to be back in the old days. I mean, it's the fighters. I give them credit because they're still performing at their world-class level and demonstrating their talent. But even for announcers, it's not the same. I mean, we bring our best. We're always on our A game, but it's still not the same. I'll be honest with you. And hopefully we get, fans in attendance and we get this thing rocking here in 2021. I'm very optimistic in that regard, Steve.
Well, I think you should be, because I think at some point it's going to get figured out. It's going to get solved.
Yep.
And Ray, I just want to say, I watch a lot of the fights that you're calling, and I'll tell you, you always do bring your A game. I look up to you a lot as an announcer. I think you do a great job in the play-by-plays and all that stuff. So, thank you for doing what you do, and I think it's awesome. I want you to keep doing it, and whether there's people there or not, man, you bring a great energy to what you do.
Well, I'll tell you this, Stephen, I'll leave you with this, is that the next 2 weeks, November 14th is Saturday on FS1, and then next Saturday, November 21st, we're going to be at Staples Center on FS1. Even without fans in attendance, that building has been the epicenter for world-class prize fights in Los Angeles. And, I mean, it's been the home of Wilder Fury 1. It was the home of Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, the home of Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares 1 and 2. The home of Shane Mosley when he defeated Antonio Margarito. Manny Pacquiao fought there years ago. So that building, Vitaly Klitschko defended his world title against Chris Adeola. Lennox Lewis, I believe, fought his last fight there when he defeated Vitaly Klitschko back in June of 2003. So that is a building, even without fans, that holds major significance. So even as an announcer, without fans in attendance, I'm going to walk into that arena and know that, there were some special moments. I actually started off the Mayweather-McGregor tour there 3 years ago. That was the first stop on the tour. So Staples Center is an arena in this country that has been home to many great moments in combat sports history. I don't know if you remember, but going back to an MMA standpoint, Matt Hughes defeated Hoist Gracie in Hoist Gracie's return to the octagon. So I was not there, but I remember watching it on pay-per-view. So I believe that was
at the Staples Center, though, right?
It was at Staples Center, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I think that was like UFC 60, if I'm correct. Maybe one of those. So, that's how far I go back, my man.
Just think about the significance there. We're at 255 right now.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
There's some serious that was kind of funny when I was talking with Ken Shamrock, we talked about UFC 1, and I was like this guy was at UFC 1. I mean, it's like, how incredible is that? But, Ray, it's always awesome having you on. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on all the time when and doing the show with me and running through some of this stuff. And definitely, want to support PBC as best I can as well. And of course, UFC and the fight. Tales of the Tape tonight were brought to you by, Tapology. So I just want to make sure I mention them because I pulled into their stuff to kind of give us that as well. And I hope it went well. I want to see what the recording looks like.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably going to be hopefully it's not all scrambled up, but no, it should be fine. And once again, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, Ray.
No problem, Steve. Keep up the great work, man. I watch every single week, as I'm in the bubble or traveling and stuff. Keep it up, man. You're doing a wonderful job. And, definitely thank you very much for the workouts, by the way. Thanks for that, man.
I'll tell you what, I got another one. I got a few more for you I'm going to send over that are going to just burn you up, man. A lot of air squats. I always tell people, if you think you can't get in shape using your body weight, do 300 air squats. Tell me what you think. Try walk the next day.
Have a great one, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, my friend. Have a good one.
Later, bro.